Yeah, so I was muted. Glad you guys heard that. So we're gonna talk about Jubilee today in more of a longer format. So yeah, hi guys. Anyways, so we're gonna break it up into positives and negatives real fast, real quick. At least with this little portion of the video. Positives: burst healing, really good. She can out heal anyone in the game. That includes Cloak and Dagger, Luna Snows, and your Invises. She can. She puts out a lot of healing. Um, Another positive. Her ult, really good. We really like that. It's really nice. It's area of effect. We like area of effect things when you're support. When you're a support main, we like area of effect things. We don't like that. We don't want to target people. We just like area of effect. You know, a lot of value there. Another thing, damage. She does a lot of damage. She's one of the highest damaging supports in the game. I can't really think if anyone else is probably going to out damage her in the support category, unless you're only DPSing. But she can do a ton of damage and still put out a ton of healing. I'd say the only one that's like can compete with her in that is Mantis. That's probably it. That's about it. So yeah, I'd say those are her positives. Okay, negatives. Dive food. Why don't you just kill her? Why don't you just kill the dive with the hit scan and the hood team up? Look, bro. Everybody, look, bro. Look, girl. Everyone ain't you, dog. We're not just hitting the Black Panther mid dash, headshotting him and killing him. The rest of us are dive fodder. All right, talking to you people that just go, oh, dive is easy with this character. We're not you. All right, the rest of us, she's dive fodder. She has no way to get out. She's no movement. That's another negative. No movement abilities whatsoever. Well, she can jump up, yeah, but she's not going anywhere. You know how many Magnetos just go like this? Yeah, boy. When she alts, just easily susceptible. She is the most susceptible character in the support category in this game to Magneto alt. Yes, that includes you guys, Cloak and Dagger. Y'all can move around, do some weird stuff, and get out of his way. You're just a sit and duck with Jubilee. There's no getting away from it unless you round a corner, and then even then, you're done. You're done. You're done. So we kind of went through like a couple negatives right there right away. She's very cooldown management dependent. If you're not managing your cooldowns correctly and making sure you're managing your attack speed procs, you're not getting any healing out of that character. You'll pretty much think she's buns, and it'll feel like you're not doing any healing, and then the stats will reflect that as well. So you got to manage your cooldowns and manipulate your attack speed procs effectively. That includes both the Hood team up and the Blade team up. Now that we've gone over the negatives and the positives, we're gonna talk about the team ups. All right, the Hood team up. It gives you significantly increased attack speed, and you can do headshot damage, and it's hit scan. And on top of that, when you're doing damage, you get lifesteal for yourself. So that's a lot. It's a very good team up. It's the favorite team up of most Jubilee players. I think it is also very good. So obviously, hit scan, very good. That's a positive for it. Hit scan is very good in this game. You always want hit scan. People love that. A lot of damage you can do in the support category with a hit scan anything. You know, that's why Luna is very good. She's hit scan. You know, it gives you life steal. So if you just aim at a tank, you can most likely survive most things. You know, especially if it's like a tank that's up. Now, if it's like a dive, it's kind of harder to do, but that's besides the point. And you can get headshot damage, so you can just burst people down. So like if you got like a good team that you got a good front line, you can like get up there and like really do some damage and get some final hits. Negatives. The negative is, I'd say probably we'll talk about the negatives after I get through with the other team up. So let's talk about the Blade team up. The Blade team up. It offers everybody in a radius, I don't know, it's a pretty big radius, 30% life steal. Everybody in the radius, and that includes yourself. And then the enhanced version is everybody in that radius still gets the 30% life steal, and they get continuous heal. So it's double healing when you activate your C. Now, we're just going to talk about the base forms of the team ups today because it's not fair since the Hood is not currently in the game as of this video being released. I think the Blade team up is also very good. Underrated, but very good because of its team utility. The Blade team up has significant team utility because it's so I'm going to say active team utility and passive team utility. So the Hood team up has very good active team utility, something that you have to do to benefit your team right away. The Blade team up has very good passive team utility, which means I can press a button and people can do it themselves and keep themselves up, because the point is everyone gets lifesteal. So they're healing themselves and you, the healer, don't have to look at them for them to heal. That's what makes the Blade team up really good. So Blade team up, Blade side, just the base version, good passive utility. Hood team up, great active utility. Now everyone's gonna want me to rate the team ups. So for me, I'd say like the Hood, I'd say they're about the same, because I see like their strengths and weaknesses. For like example, we're gonna go into the weaknesses now. So like the weakness of the Hood team up, at least in my opinion, is you have to sacrifice one of your orbs to proc your attack speed fire right away, because you don't have that extra utility you would have with the Blade team up. If you're C, you gotta proc your attack speed right away. That way you can get out a bunch of healing. Especially early on, if you're just entering the fight, you need to have your attack speed ready to go so you can defend yourself or heal yourself or do some damage or put out a bunch of healing for your tanks that are on the front line. So you're basically sacrificing one of your bubbles right away, and then you got to make sure, the other bubble is down. That way people are being healed continuously as well. And that's fine. It's not hard to do. It's fine. But in that same vein, it does leave you very susceptible to die, because that bubble that you sacrificed on the enemy is now gone because you want to proc your attack speed. And now you have to either be in the middle, like with the DPS players, or you can stay in the back and get dove by Black Panther and Magic and just die. So that's that. Or just realistically, somebody that has good aim, or like they know like the Hood team up's weaknesses. I'm just gonna play Hella and like Black Widow or like Phoenix and just aim at the Jubilee. I know she's using the Hood team up. She's gonna die, because Jubilee is one of her biggest weaknesses is she has no like abilities that provide her with self-sustain. Like, yes, the attack speed is good and it will keep you alive, sure. But like again, that same ability also is used for healing output. And that's kind of the thing that kind of holds her back a little bit, especially with the Hood team up. Now, we're gonna go over to the Blade team up. Its weakness obviously is its attack speed is not as fast as the Hood team up. So from a just objective standpoint, the Hood team up is better because you get more attack speed and it's just faster, and you can output more healing faster. That said, the passive utility of the Blade team up is better, because I can hit a button and people just heal themselves. That takes stress off of the other healer, that takes stress off of yourself, and you can focus on keeping yourself alive by mag dumping a tank. If like the dive is on you, you don't want to switch off for some reason. So there's that in that regard. And you still get the life steal. You still get the 30% life steal regardless. So that's what it is, you know. And that's good. Everyone on your team, especially if you're playing Brawl, it's really good for Brawl comps, is healing themselves. The enhanced version is really good, but we're not going to talk about the enhanced version of Blade because that's not fair, because we don't know. We're pretty much sure that the enhanced Hood version is probably going to get nerfed, but it's going to mean you're getting the attack speed all the time, which means now you don't have to sacrifice that orb anymore, and now you're just now that team up is clearly better, in my opinion. But yeah, so me personally, as of right now, this video coming out, I think the Blade team up is slightly better than the Hood team up, because in my opinion, passive utility is better than active utility. Here's my reasoning why. So remember, I explained to you what passive and active is utility. Passive utility is you pressing a button and it just taking care of everything for itself. You don't have to do anything. It just does it for you. You're not aiming at anybody. You're not doing much. You press a button and it does its job. Good examples of passive utility or like passive utility is White Fox teleport. When you teleport, you get that shield. It does the work for you. You're not doing anything. You press the one button and it's doing its job. Another good example of passive utility is Luna's Snowflake. Granted, you still have to do something to like get it to proc, but like you put it on like one of the tanks and you're healing somebody else, it's still hitting the other tank, even though you're not aiming at that other tank. You see what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Again, Blade team up with Jubilee, passive utility. You press the button, everybody on the team gets life steal. Everyone in the radius gets lifesteal. You're not doing anything. You're not aiming anybody. As long as they're doing damage, they're lifestealing health and getting health back. It's really that simple. It's really strong, especially for like poke comps. So if you got Hela and like Phoenix, Black Widow, Hawkeye, that lifesteal is really valuable for those players because they're basically lifestealing their whole health bar back. Like they're just basically full health. You know, same for like high damage tanks like Thor, Deadpool, Magneto. They're just lifestealing their whole health bar back. You know, that's passive utility though. You press a button, most of the mechanic is taken care of for itself, and it does all the work itself for the most part. Another good example, Loki lamps. You hit shift, the lamp comes up, you know, that's passive utility. You don't have to do a lot. You don't have to aim at a specific person to get it to do anything. You just press a button and the ability does what it's supposed to do, and that's it. Active utility is like the charm for Luna. You know, you have to aim it at somebody and you get nice utility off of that because it's an active ability that you have to aim at somebody, but it's great. Her Luna's freeze, also another active utility. The blind from Cloak and Dagger, active utility. You have to aim it at somebody. This active utility usually requires aiming and cognitive thinking. You don't just press the button and it just does it automatically. You know, that's what active utility is. So when we're talking about the Jubilee team up with Hood, it has a lot of active utility because you get the headshot damage, you get the lifesteal on yourself, you get the way more attack speed than you will with the Blade team up. So therefore, you can output, you should be able to output more healing. But in the same vein, you can output more healing, but if you need to heal yourself, you have to take that healing away from somebody and shoot at one of the enemies to heal yourself as well. Because again, one of Jubilee's biggest weaknesses, she has no self-sustain. She doesn't have a way to passively like heal herself. You know, Luna, she presses shift, she can heal herself. Cloak, she has all these she has a bubble and everything else she can throw on herself just literally for her. Really, she can throw on herself. Loki can literally go invisible and heal himself. You know, Rocket could just aim at the ground and dash away. And, you know, Rocket has a bunch of movement. So you either have movement or you have some kind of a passive healing for yourself. You know, so the reason I think the Blade team was better is because it's less stress for the healers, especially if you're playing like a really brawly like poke comp. It's really good for that. You know, like I said, the lifesteal is really good. And then say you can get a Blade. There aren't that many Blade players, but if you can get a Blade, it's really good. Then I'm only gonna touch on the enhanced version a little bit. The enhanced version is really broken because at that point you can just W key. You hit that C and you throw like one of your bubbles down and you can just walk a team down. I've done that multiple times in ranked. You just walk them down. If you have a Blade on your team, you get the enhanced. It's disgusting. But yeah, so me personally, I'm picking the Blade team up with Jubilee. I think she's an exceptional character. I think she's pretty balanced. I think, in my opinion, if I had to change something, I'd give her a way to like kind of give her a little bit more self-sustain, but I wouldn't like break it. It'd be like a little something a little small, you know, or like give her an extra like bubble that way she can pop. So give her 3 bubbles. That, you know, maybe add like 1 second of cooldown on them. Since you're adding another bubble, add like 2 seconds for like the cooldown, you know, to kind of balance it out. But yeah, I think she's very good. I think both of her team ups are really good. I think the Hood team up is kind of overrated a little bit. And you know, because I think the Blade team up has its passive. For me, I like passive utility more than active utility. That's just me personally. So I think, you know, people really should give the Blade team up a try and just try it out. Yes, it's not gonna feel as good because you're not getting hit scan attack speed, but trust me, the passive utility is worth it for in most situations. So yeah, I think she's really good. I don't think she's as bad as everyone is saying she is either. I just think she's just die fodder, which is okay. It's okay for a support to have a weakness. That's fine. But other than that, you know, I think she's a great champion, puts out a lot of healing, can out heal anyone in the game. I think that's her biggest strength is like she can put out as much healing as the average Cloak and Dagger player. You know, I think that's her biggest strength. You know, is she comp specific? Sure. If we're playing dive or like a really like spread out team like Flyers, she's not really good for that, obviously. You know, but that's fine. She can still put out a ton of healing though. So I think you guys should really give the Blade team up a tryout though. I see everyone using the Hood team up. You should really like actually take it out for a spin. I'm not talking like play it for like 1 point and switch off. I'm talking play it for a few games
and really see like the value of like the passive utility that it gives the team. But yeah, that's my all my thoughts on Jubilee and her weaknesses and her strengths and her team ups. If you disagree, you can argue with me in the comments. I'm not going to argue with you in this video. All right.